Thank you. Tanya, the Gemara says in Gemara Menachot Mem Daled Amud Aleph, Tanya Amar Rabbi Natan, En lecha kol mitzvah kala shektuva b'Torah. One of the easiest mitzvahs written in the Torah, she'en matan schara ba'olam hazeh u'la'olam haba, mitzvah tzitzit. You see how much the reward is for mitzvah tzitzit in this world and in the next world. Now listen to the story which is brought down in the Gemara, famous story. Ma'aseh ba'adam echad, one man, haya zahir b'mitzvah tzitzit. Now you see, he wasn't such a religious man, but he was very careful in mitzvah tzitzit. He said, listen, I'll give you one mitzvah. Tzitzit, that's mine. Easy. I get dressed, I put it on, you don't see it, I wear it. Every second I'm in Mekayim tzitzit. And then other mitzvot, you see from the story how religious he was. Okay, listen to the story. Shama sheyesh zona b'karchei hayam. He heard that there was a famous woman overseas that was offering services. And she takes 400 gold coins for her services. Okay, and this is what he did. He sent her the money. And he said, I'm coming. He made an appointment. You see how religious he was. When it was his turn, he came and he sat at the entrance. And he came in. He said to her, are you the man that paid the money? He said, yeah, okay, welcome, please sit here. He said, come in. He said that she offered him 7 different beds. Each bed was made of silver, and the 7th one was made of gold. And from bed to bed, they were like on higher levels. He had to climb a ladder. And the ladder was made from silver ladder, and he climbed onto each bed and silver until he got to the final bed. And the final bed was a ladder of gold and a golden bed. And she climbed up without wearing any clothes, this lady, onto each bed until she got to the highest bed. And she said, okay, I'm ready. Then he climbs up. And then what happens? The tzitzit, the 4 corners of the tzitzit come flying onto his face. Adonai gets caught in the ladder as he's climbing up. He's in his excitement of running up to be with his famous Zona. He fell on his face with his tzitzit on the floor. Now she gets shocked. He said, listen, what's going on over here? You're climbing up, we're on the gold bed, now you're falling off and going back to the floor. So she comes down and she says, tell me what's going on. Second. Okay. Amalo, Gapa shel Romi, Gufa shel Romi. He says, I swear to you by the Roman Gufa shel Romi. I'm not going to let you leave until you tell me, what was wrong with me? Well, why did you see? You came onto the 7th bed and you just fell down. What did you see with me that you didn't like? What was wrong with me that put you off? Amar and he says, Ha'avodah, I swear to you, Lo ra'iti isha yefa kmotech. I never saw such a beautiful woman like you. Ela mitzvah achat tzivani Hashem Elokeinu. There's only one mitzvah which I keep. One mitzvah which God commanded me, and the name is tzitzit. V'ketiv ba ani Hashem Elokechem. Ani shatid lipara. I'm going to lipara. No, I'm going to.
Well, get rid of in a free translation, but it's not.
No, lipara is to. Escape me. I'm gonna charge you. I'm gonna take payment from you, or I will pay you. I will pay you reward and always charge you, and I'll take away from you what I need. These 4 corners of tzitzit are like 4 test witnesses. And I can't do this avera. I feel like I'm being watched, and God is watching me, and I'm going to have to give din v'cheshbon, and I'm going to be judged, and I can't be with you. Now, she took this personally. Okay, you see, this was a special lady. You see from the end of the story. I'm not going to let you go until you tell me what's your name, and where'd you come from, and who's your rabbi, And what's the name of your Bet Midrash? That you learn Torah. Okay, so he said, this is my name. And she wrote it all down. She wrote down the details. Okay. Then what did she do? She got up and she sold all her assets. Okay, and I think she has 6 silver beds and 1 gold bed. That's already a nice income from selling that. And she sold all of her assets. And then she divided. A third she gave to the kingdom of Rome, whatever it is. A third she gave to poor people. And a third she took in her hand and off she went. Apart from, she sold everything apart from those beds. That's what it says over here. And then she goes to the Bet Midrash of Rabbi Chayeh. And she says to him, Rabbi, teach me what I need to do to become a Gioret. I want to be Jewish. What do I need to do? Amar la biti. Why you want to become Jewish? Maybe you want one of the boys in the yeshiva? And she took out the paper from her hand. He said, listen, I wrote down these details. It's his name, it's where he lives. This is what I want. And she told him the story. He says, okay, לכי וזכי במקחך. אותן מצאות שהציע לו בייסור, הציע לו בהיתר. So the same silver and gold beds that she offered him in the way of Isur of Avera, she offered him בהיתר, under חופה וקידושין, כדת משה וישראל. Says the Gemara, זה מתן שכרן בעולם הזה. That's what he got in עולם הזה for the mitzvah of tzitzit. In עולם הבא, I don't even know how much schar he's going to get. Which means that he was just careful on one small, easy mitzvah of tzitzit. And that saved him not only from a big avera, but the same thing which he got for one time, costing him 400 gold zehuvim. He got it derech heter and didn't have to pay for such an expensive price every time. Then once he's married, that's it. And this is the price, 400 gold zehuvim. It's like what Abraham paid for Marat Mechpelah. Enormous amount of money. And you see all this from the mitzvah of tzitzit. So we're talking about Hilchot of tzitzit, and what does it need to be, what garment needs to be made from tzitzit? Well, what do you need to put tzitzit? So first of all, did we speak about what color tzitzit should be? What's the best color for tzitzit?
White.
White. Did we speak about that?
Briefly.
Yeah, so we can have any color tzitzit. I think in the army they have green color tzitzit, and I think you can have colorful tzitzit, blue or colorful gold or silver, but the best is white, because the same color of the strings, that should be the garment. That's brought down also by the Kaf HaChaim and also Mishnah Berurah. Sorry, black stripes is a sign of mourning. The Ashkenazim have the minhag of black stripes. We don't have that avelut of bait. We don't have that minhag. Especially on Shabbat, there's no minhag of avelut. And we as Sephardim, we have white talit. That's our minhag. Now, any four-cornered garment needs to have tzitzit. Now, we spoke about the garment. Do you know? Yeah, I've got a jacket. I don't know if you've seen it. There's like jackets which you can have. I'm going to show you an example over here. They have 4 corners. There's a corner at the top and a corner at the bottom, and it zips up. So that's initially 4 corners. So would that need to be to have tzitzit on it?
It's got sleeves.
It's got sleeves. That's true. Does that make a difference?
Well, it's not formally.
Go on, it's. So Jess has got sleeves. Yochel, what do you say? Okay. So any 4-cornered garment needs to have tzitzit unless you round off one of the corners. So sometimes jackets are rounded off. However, there's a few different reasons why it's patur from tzitzit. So one reason is brought down, and maybe this is what you meant, Joe. The fact that it's got sleeves, which means that it's, according to one opinion, it's only 4-cornered garment if you put it out on the table and you see 4 corners. But if you put this jacket on the table, you don't see the 4 corners because all 4 corners are at the front. However, there's another reason. The jacket, and also like a shirt, is mostly closed up with a zip. If it's closed, then there's no chiyuv of tzitzit. Tzitzit needs to be mostly open. So even when you have a tzitzit, it's open at the side. Even have you seen some people have a gufiyah tzitzit, which is a vest that you wear, and it's got tzitzit on it. It's made from cotton. Even that gufiyah tzitzit is open on the side. If it's not open, if it's open, mechuyav in tzitzit. If it's closed, then you don't need to have tzitzit on it. Also, if it's made of synthetic material, polyester, or anything synthetic, then it's patur from tzitzit. So, and my jacket, my jumper is made from acrylics, polyester is patur. So there's a few different
What
reasons.
about a waistcoat?
So a waistcoat, I don't know if it's got full corners on it. And also a waistcoat is closed because you button it down. That's how you wear it. You don't usually wear it open. So that will be the answer for that. Now, can I ask you, can you, if you see your tzitzit is a loosen up, can you tie it on Shabbat?
No.
No, thank you. Yaakov, why not?
Metaken.
So you're a metaken kli, but also it's kosher. It's kosher, it's all the right. Keshua, you're not allowed to do it. If you see it open, then just leave it. On Shabbat, even if it's a tiny, even if it's mostly closed, then you're just tightening it.
But your tie on Shabbat?
Oh, so making a tie is aniva. Aniva is mutar. Why? Because it's not kesher shel uman and it's not kesher shel kayama. It's aniva, kesher al gabe aniva. Now it depends how you do a tie, but most ways the way you do a tie, not a tie.
Question,
Now.
But even if it's you tighten it.
So the way the ties are, you do a tie. It's not kesher shel kayama, which means it's not a knot which is going to stay. It opens up.
Sorry, Rabbi. It's not serving a purpose. It's only it's only for looks. Whereas,
yeah. So you're right. It's there for looks, but as a part of, when it comes to halacha, it doesn't really matter if it's looks or not looks. It matters if it's going to be shel kayama, if it's going to be something which is long term or short term, permanent. And because of the tie, you're just wearing it, and when you take it off, you undo it. And also, it doesn't have definition of kesher, which means it doesn't have a definition of a knot because I don't have to explain this. It's defined as a loop, which is called aniva, which can just be undo itself. If I demonstrate, I'm maybe going to take off my tie for the demonstration. Okay. If this is a tie, if I just pull one end, then the knot will undo itself. See, I'm just pulling here. Then it gets to that stage, and it's a knot. But then if you just put it a bit harder, it gets undone. What do you see? Let's see, maybe not. Yeah. That is one knot. One knot you're allowed to do, but two knots not allowed to do. 1 second, the way I've done is like this is not. So again, to do one knot on Shabbat is kesher is mutar. That's how you can do your shoelace. You can do one knot on a shoelace. But to do two knots, a double knot,
two shoelaces.
So shoelaces you can do a shoelace, which is one knot, and then you do on top of it, it's called aniva. So that you can do. On Shabbat, a double knot would be asur. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to tzitzit. When you're tying up your tzitzit and you want to fix it, then you should say l'shem mitzvah tzitzit. And it's brought down also from halacha that the end of your tzitzit, if it comes, 1 second. What happens if you take off your tzitzit? You should always fold it. On Shabbat, it's machloket if you're allowed to fold the talit on Shabbat or not. The minhag of the Moroccan minhag is to fold the talit, but
we do, but according to Rabbi Netanel, you shouldn't. But we do fold the talit, and there is a poskim that we rely on to fold it on. However, what happens if you leave your talit unfolded overnight? Says the Ben Ish Chai, when you wake up, when you get in the morning, you don't put on the talit if it's been unfolded. He said, what you should shake it off. Now, I don't understand why he says this, but he said it's very important to do that. You shake it off and then you put it on.
Because of the setup, my guess is we wake up in the morning, we wash our hands to remove.
Because of the tumah. So I don't know. It could be because of that. But he said if it's there overnight, you should shake it off. So sometimes you leave it you leave your talit in shul, and in the morning you put it on. You should shake it off. Now, where should you put on your talit? Have you seen people somewhere they wear it on top of their clothes, or some people wear it underneath their clothes? What's better, to wear it on top or underneath?
On top.
On top.
Just disrespectful to wear it on bare skin.
No, you can't wear it on your skin. You have to wear it on on a t-shirt or
On a t-shirt or on a vest. Okay, but should you wear it under your shirt or over your shirt?
I mean, I know that some Chassidim will put them on top of the shirt.
So very good. So you see Chassidim, and then you see them in Stanford Hill, you see them in Gold's Green, they wear it on top. Well, we don't have that minhag. Now, if you see from the Gemara that we mentioned, it seems that the tzitzit was underneath, right? Because you see
it's not allowed on the skin?
No.
It's not allowed because directly it's not covered for the skin. I don't know. Let me check up the halacha because it doesn't make sense to me how you can have a gufiyah tzitzit. I heard that before, but I haven't seen it written down. I didn't see it written down in the Ben Ish Chai. Let me check that out. What you said, Yaakov. But I know that's the minhag that we wear on top of the vest. Could be just for comfort reasons.
But the gufiyah tzitzit has got some sort of double thing on it.
It's double layer?
There is a double. It's not a single layer.
Okay, interesting. I don't know.
Even in the corner, or in the corners. I mean, I can check because I haven't got one, but I'm sure Eddie left one here somewhere. I can go and check it. The four corners are double, but probably not the whole vest. But the corners are. I don't know why, but probably that's the trick.
Okay, so let me just finish off. I just want to say two more halachot just to finish the halachot tzitzit.
Yeah.
Can you make a talit gadol into a talit katan, into a tzitzit?
No.
Why? No.
I mean, how could you physically?
Oh, so let's say you have a big
middle.
Yeah, if you have a big talit and you got a hole in it, it gets ripped. So you said, listen, only half of it's ripped. I'll cut up, I'll make it nice, and I'll use it for tzitzit katan.
No.
So,
you mean talit gadol, you talit katan?
Yeah, because talit gadol is a beged which is used for tefillah. It's got more. It's like more. So there's a klal we said balin bekodesh ve'en moridin. Okay, so you can't do you can't make sefer Torah into a mezuzah, right? If it goes pasul, you can't do that. So here tzitzit you are allowed. The halacha is your mutar.
But you can use talit katan if you don't have tzitzit on Shabbat. You can use talit katan instead, right?
What to do? What tefillah? What do you mean instead?
Yeah.
I don't know. Tzitzit is not miyuchad for tefillah. Talit is a beged for tefillah, and it's usually much bigger. So it's got different over there. But the halacha is you make a bracha. If you only have a tzitzit katan, you can do atifa and make a bracha on it. That's what you meant. Okay. What happens if you borrow a talit? Did you make a bracha or no? Let's say I'm going up. I need to go up to the Sefer Torah and I don't have a talit. I come to you. I take your talit. I put it on and I go to the Sefer Torah. I make a bracha or no?
Why not?
So it depends.
Just for 2 minutes and back? No.
Oh, very good. So Yaakov made a very good. If it's just for making a bracha on the Sefer Torah, then you're just taking the talit just for respect. You don't want to wear the talit. But I have kavod for Sefer Torah, or a kohen wants to do bekat kohanim. He's not even part of the tefillah. He just happens to be in the synagogue. I don't know what he's nearby. You want him to do bekat kohanim, so you can take the talit, just put it on for kavod, and do his bracha Sefer Torah or kohanim. But
what's
if
the
he's
harm?
worried,
What's the harm in saying the bracha?
No, so it's very good. What's the harm? So you're not allowed to say bracha levatala. You can't say God's name for no reason. It's one of the 10 commandments. It's naming Hashem in vain, even if it's a blessing. But if there's no obligation for the blessing, you can't just make a blessing. So there's a difference if you're just borrowing it for 2 minutes to go for Sefer Torah or to pray for let's say your chazan. But if you want to borrow the tzitzit to pray and be mekayem the mitzvah of tzitzit, then even if it's a borrowed talit, then you're not to make a bracha. Okay, let's say I come into shul in the morning, shachrit, I don't have a talit. Can I borrow your talit? Yeah, of course I make a bracha on it. I do atifa properly. But if I'm just in shul and I don't want to do anything, they call me up for mincha, and let's say, I don't know, I'm wearing a short sleeves, I want to wear talit for kavod, I take and I don't make a bracha. Very important, if your talit rips, are you allowed to sew it back up? No. Why no? Gilad shaking his head. It's very important halacha because you have to have first the garment and then make the tzitzit. You can't put on the tzitziot and then make the garment. You have to have first a full kunim garment and then put on tzitzit. So if it gets ripped, you don't have now a proper garment. And then when you sew it up, it's already got the tzitzit on it. So you have to undo the tzitziot, sew it up, and then put the tzitziot back on.
Back. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, and last thing, are you allowed to use your tzitzit to like hold your keys and tie it up onto your pen, or use it for tashmish shel chol?
No,
No. So of course tzitzit is tashmish mitzvah. You're not allowed to use tashmish
course
for chol or to have it on the floor, which is derech bizayon, and it's not kavod for the tzitzit. If your tzitzit is sometimes sweeping the floor, if you see somebody, tell them, listen, your tzitzit is kedusha over there. You don't know how much kavanot, and then if you see, I've made my own tzitzit according to the kavanot of the Kaf HaChaim. It takes me 2 hours. 2 hours to do it properly over all the knots. There's kavanot in each knot that you make, of each string. Each time you go around, different shemot HaKodesh. You can't, it has a lot of kedusha in tzitzit. You can't have it going on the floor. Okay, and the final halacha. What happens if you have tzitzit which is pasul? Are you allowed to throw it away?
no, you have to bury it.
You have to bury it?
Gniza.
Gniza? So this is halacha. So gniza is something which is tishmishek. What is gniza? What do you have to bury? You have to bury something which is holy. A Jew is holy. Or Sefer Torah is holy. Or
Only when we have Shem Hashem.
Tefillin and mezuzah. Tzitzit doesn't have the same level of kedusha. It is kadosh, but not the same level of kadosh. However, you can't just throw it away with all your trash that you throw out in the garbage at home. So what do you need to do? You need to dispose of it in a way which is respectful. What do? You put your old tzitzit in a plastic bag, or you wrap it in another bag, and you put it in the garbage outside, and that's how you respectfully put it away. But Ben Ish Chai says, if you're machmir, so Yaakov is going with the machmirim, and tavo alav bracha, that is magniz. I hope you all enjoyed the shiur. That's the end of Ilchot Tzitzit. Hashem. And next week we'll hope to start Ilchot Tefillin. I hope you all enjoyed the shiur tonight.
Very nice.
And wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining us.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you.
Thank you.